You sort a table, and suddenly your results look wrong. Names don't match IDs, prices jump to the wrong products, and your lookup columns feel broken. The tricky part is this: Excel often isn't breaking the formula. The formula is doing exactly what you told it to do, but sorting changes the relationships between cells. That's why VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP can start returning mismatches right after a sort. The fix is not random. It's about making your references stable and making your data act like a single unit. Once you understand the few common failure modes, you can spot them in seconds. Then you can choose the right repair, convert to a table, lock ranges, use key columns, or switch to structured references. By the end, you'll know how to sort safely without losing trust in your workbook. Next step. First, let's name the real problem. Sorting is not just moving values, it's rearranging rows, and Excel will only keep formulas aligned if the entire dataset is treated as one block. If you sort only one column, or you sort a partial range, you create a split brain sheet. One column moves, another stays. Now your lookup result might still be correct for the moved row, but it's paired with the wrong neighbor data. Another common issue is that your lookup range is not anchored. After a sort, Excel may adjust relative references, and your lookup table range can shift in a way you didn't expect. And if you used helper columns that depend on row position, sorting changes the meaning of those helpers. So the goal is simple. Make sure the data you sort is one consistent range, and make sure your formulas point to stable keys, not fragile positions. Next step. Let's separate two different failures, because they feel the same but have different fixes. Failure type 1 is misaligned rows. That's when you sorted one column but not the full table, so values no longer belong together. Failure type 2 is wrong lookup target. That's when your VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP points to the wrong range, or the range moved, or the key column isn't unique. The first type is a sorting problem. The second type is a formula design problem. A quick test helps. If multiple columns that should travel together no longer match, suspect a partial sort. If the row data still makes sense but the lookup result is off, suspect the lookup inputs, lookup value, lookup array, return array, or match mode. Once you classify the failure, the fix becomes straightforward instead of trial and error. Next step. Now the most common root cause, sorting only part of the dataset. Excel usually warns you by asking whether to expand the selection. If you click Continue with the current selection, you're telling Excel to move just that column. That instantly breaks the relationship between columns. The safest habit is to pre-select the full dataset before sorting. Even better, convert the range into an Excel table, because tables sort as a unit by default. Tables also keep formulas consistent down the column, and they reduce the chance of accidentally excluding rows. If you can't use a table, at least ensure there are no completely blank columns or blank header rows inside the data block, because that can cause Excel to detect the range incorrectly. Sorting works best when your data is a clean rectangle with one header row and no gaps. Next step. Next issue. Unstable lookup ranges. A classic VLOOKUP problem is using a range like A2 to D100 without locking it, then copying formulas or inserting rows. Sorting can also expose that your range was never covering all rows. The fix is to make the lookup arrays dynamic and explicit. With VLOOKUP, use absolute references like $A, $D, $100, or better, point to a table column so the range grows automatically. With XLOOKUP, you can reference the exact lookup column and return column, which is clearer and safer than a wide block. Also double-check that your lookup value is coming from the correct cell after sort. If the lookup value cell moved with the row but the lookup range didn't, you can get consistent-looking but wrong answers. Stable ranges plus stable keys prevent that. Next step. Here's a subtle one. VLOOKUP's column index is fragile. VLOOKUP returns a column number from the left edge of the table array. If you insert a column inside that array, or if your table array starts in a different place than you think, your column index can point to the wrong field. Sorting doesn't change the index, but sorting often happens right after edits, and the mismatch shows up then. XLOOKUP avoids this because you choose the return array directly. If you must stay with VLOOKUP, consider switching to a combination like index and match, where you match the key column and then return the specific target column. The takeaway is avoid formulas that depend on the third column from here. Use formulas that depend on this named column. That's how you make sheets resilient. Next step. Another frequent cause of wrong matches is duplicate keys. If your lookup key, like an ID or product name, is not unique, VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP will return the first match they encounter. After sorting, first can change, so the returned record changes too. That feels like sorting broke the formula, but it's really a data quality issue. The fix is to enforce uniqueness, or to build a composite key. For example, combine customer ID and order date, or product code and region, into a helper key that is unique. You can also use XLOOKUP with a more specific lookup value, but the best practice is to make the key column unambiguous. If duplicates are legitimate, then you may need a different approach, like filter to return multiple matches, or a pivot-style summary instead of a single lookup. Next step. Let's talk about match modes, because they can quietly fail after sorting. VLOOKUP with the last argument true or omitted uses an approximate match. That requires the lookup column to be sorted ascending. If you sort descending or sort by a different column, approximate match can return a nearby but incorrect result. XLOOKUP also has a match mode for approximate matching, and it has search modes that can search first to last or last to first. If you want exact matches for IDs, you should explicitly set exact match. In XLOOKUP, that's match mode 0. In VLOOKUP, that's false. Approximate match is great for tax brackets, grading scales, and thresholds. It's risky for identifiers, so if sorting breaks your results, check whether you accidentally relied on approximate matching without realizing it. Next step. Sometimes the mismatch isn't the lookup at all. It's the data type. A common example is numbers stored as text. After sorting, text numbers sort like words, so 100 comes before 20. Then your lookup might still find a match, but your sorted order looks wrong, or your approximate match becomes unreliable. Another example is extra spaces. ABC and ABC, are different keys. Sorting can cluster these in a way that makes the issue obvious. The fix is to normalize your keys. Convert text numbers to real numbers, trim extra spaces, and standardize case if needed. For cleanup, trim removes extra spaces, value converts numeric text, and clean can remove non-printing characters. The more consistent your keys are, the more predictable sorting and lookups become. Next step. Now for the most reliable structural fix. Use Excel tables and structured references. When your data is a table, sorting, filtering, and formula fill-down are designed to stay aligned. Instead of referencing AA or A2, A100, you reference something like Table 1 Customer ID. That reference stays correct even if rows are added, columns move, or the table grows. Your XLOOKUP becomes easier to read too, because the lookup array and return array are named by their headers. Tables also reduce the chance that someone sorts only one column, because the sort controls operate on the whole table. If you share workbooks with other people, tables are one of the simplest ways to make the file harder to break. It's not the only solution, but it's a strong default. Next step. If you're already using XLOOKUP, here's a clean pattern that survives sorting. Use a dedicated key column, and reference only the key column for lookup, and only the target column for return. Avoid returning from a wide block when you can be precise. Also, decide what should happen when a key is missing. XLOOKUP lets you set an if-not-found result, which prevents confusing errors from spreading. If you need the last occurrence, use the search mode that searches from bottom to top. That can matter when duplicates exist and you want the most recent record. If you need multiple matches, switch mental models. Use filter to return a list, or use a summary method. The main idea is to be explicit. Explicit key, explicit return column, explicit match behavior. Next step. When a workbook is messy, you need a fast troubleshooting checklist. First, confirm the sorted range includes every related column. Second, check whether the lookup key is unique. Third, verify match mode is exact for identifiers. Fourth, inspect the lookup and return ranges for stability, absolute references or table columns. Fifth, validate the key data type, text versus number, and hidden spaces. And finally, test one row manually. Pick a key, find it in the source table, and confirm the returned value is truly the one you want. This manual spot check is powerful because it tells you whether the formula is wrong, or the data is wrong, or the expectation is wrong. Most sorting broke my lookup cases are solved by one of these 6 checks without rebuilding the whole sheet. Next step, let's finish with a simple set of best practices you can apply to any file. Design your sheet so sorting is routine, not risky. Keep data in a single clean table with one header row. Use a dedicated ID column as the key, and don't rely on row numbers as meaning. Prefer XLOOKUP with explicit arrays or index and match over brittle VLOOKUP column indexes. If you must use VLOOKUP, lock ranges and force exact match. Normalize keys so they compare cleanly. And when you hand off the workbook, protect it with structure, tables, named ranges, and clear column headers. If you want more Excel breakdowns like this, subscribe once. And for a quick pulse check, which lookup do you rely on more, VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP? Small tweaks compound into massive performance gains. Subscribe to catch the next workflow optimization.